Welcome back to Two Brothers Sports Podcast. It is Wednesday, June 17th, and we've got the US Open at Shinnecock Hills in New fucking York. Perfect timing after the Knicks wrap up the NBA Finals. We got the Canes winning the Stanley Cup as well. And at the end, we're going to sprinkle a little World Cup bets from a Wednesday to Sunday perspective. Got some plays there. We've got Sean back here for our majors install. Brother, how are we?
Good, man. Good. I love coming on the program because that means there's usually a big golf event coming up here. Probably going to be carnage. I know we were chatting right before we got on here about the wind advisory and levels there. There's no trees out. Just gonna be blowing balls all off the course there. It'll be exciting. Who's going to be able to golf their golf ball?
Hell yeah. I can't wait to get into it. Of course, we got Max back as always, wearing the 2018 Shinnecock Hills
Yeah.
hat there, giving a little homage to Brooks Koepka, who won it back in 2018. Interested to see if either of you fellas have some Koepka plays in the holster. So, looking forward to getting into that. Max, we also had a nice little UFC 250 at the White House. Did have a little bit of some delays and some storms and things. Gonna happen when you're outside around this time of year. But yeah, give me your thoughts maybe on some UFC 250.
Yeah, man. Freedom 250.
Oh,
Freedom
yeah,
250,
250.
baby.
Don't forget free.
Dude, it was awesome. Unfortunately, yeah, I had something right in the morning, so I couldn't stay up, or else I would have. I woke up and watched them right away, though. Just fantastic. Every single fight, knockout or TKO. But just amazing card, amazing fights, and just love to see it. It was finally like one of their like big promos. Like it all worked out. You know, like UFC 300 was kind of almost there were some shitty fights in that and stuff like that. So great to see. Loved a lot of the outcomes. Shout out Justin Gaethje, baby.
Was just gonna ask you that, not to get into every single fight, but do we owe Justin Gaethje an apology? Because
Yeah, we do.
I
Everyone does.
don't want him coming anywhere near me after that fight. Guys, yeah, yeah,
He's a crazy
yeah.
man.
So overall, yeah, it's basically like if you, I want to find the guy who bet every single fight in the UFC Freedom 250 to be a KO, DKO, or DQ, TKO,
Right.
and also that same guy who bet that, and also four draws last night in the World Cup slate because whoever that guy is, we need to get him on ASAP Rocky, and we need to get every single pick and tail that because you don't see an entire World Cup day of being all draws, and you don't. I don't think I've. I mean,
Last time it was 1958.
1958 for the World Cup,
Last and only time that has happened was 1958.
insane. And
Shit.
I bet you, given maybe I guess if you only did the main card for UFC on pay-per-view fights, I'd be interested to see the last time that every main card fight went to a KO, TKO, DQ
Maybe even so,
option.
but yeah,
But yeah, with that being said, I mean, I don't know
it
if
was
that
awesome.
happens. So we are in anomaly world. We are playing at a very tough course at Shinnecock this weekend. Not we. We're gonna be hanging out. But one thing I did want to hit on before we get into Shinnecock, we did have the New York Knicks wrap up the Spurs series, won 4-1. Insane game three. I think we recorded the day after game three. If I'm correct, we may not have. Yeah, I think we did.
Yeah,
So we had game four and five in there. I think we predicted all right on the NBA front. I've
that
got
was
a couple
saying
things
goodbye.
to say on NBA, but I know you guys like yourself some puck, and so want to get your thoughts because I've been kind of tuning in more to the NBA than NHL. That's kind of been like my gotta do the stuff for the wifey kind of nights so that I can watch NBA and golf and everything else. So some quick roundtable thoughts on Canes Vegas. I'll give my quick little spiel on the Knicks and then right into golf.
Cool. You guys, Sean.
Yeah, I can't say wholeheartedly I watched every second of everything, but anytime I was watching, It was kind of batshit crazy in the best way, right? Like leads given up, some high scoring games, some more just kind of rock fights there. I think happy just for the Canes in the sense that it's a lot of times a win is in one season, but if you follow that fan base, I'm not saying any of us follow the Canes, but when you follow a fan base, like any championship is way more than 1 year. It's kind of multiple years in the making of finally tuning up the roster, maybe needing to go through those failing events there. And I mean, if you follow hockey, they've been arguably the best. Florida's great too, but like they've been like almost on par with Florida as just that awesome team in the East. They don't do it by necessarily kind of flashy style. They can score a bunch of goals too, but they just beat you down and kind of just got unlucky or ran into teams that were harder than last year. So it's good for them to win. Kind of seemed like with Vegas, maybe some goal trouble issues. Sometimes you just run into a hot goaltender like you had with Canes there, and sometimes your goaltender lets you down a little bit. Like probably if you're Vegas, you might be thinking about that all off season.
Yeah.
No more Marc Andre.
No.
No, 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 no more Marc Andre. But that's now the third appearance for them since 2018. I think two cup
Dude.
losses and one cup win, which is I forget if that was maybe our group chat or whatnot, but I mean, in the four major sports, got to be one of the best runs for a new expansion team, like in their first decade.
Oh yeah, I
I
mean,
would assume so, yeah.
yeah, 3 Stanley Cups in 9 years. I think that's what
Yeah.
it was.
One kind of other quick is nothing, not like betting context here, but just maybe a fun thing is at least the two times they've lost, they were at home, so that those teams that won, like they just, oh, I step outside like my line of work, and now I'm in Vegas, and I have a reason to celebrate. Just I thought fun little nugget, fun
Yeah.
little gold nugget if you want to be Vegas thing.
Woo.
I mean, hey, and if you're the away team, is there any other place that you'd rather celebrate?
Yeah, exactly.
No,
Perfect. Love to
no.
see that.
Yeah. It was
Wouldn't be surprised if maybe some of those New York Knicks are maybe in Vegas at some point here soon celebrating. They got the parade this week. Um, so looking forward to that. Max, before I just give a little Knicks spiel, I kind of cut you off, but anything else you want to note on Canes Vegas?
no. Yeah, he nailed it. It was just fucking fantastic. I loved it. Just a great series, fun every second of it. And Canes, those first two, three games, it looked a little rough. I
Hmm.
was kind of leaning more towards Knights, and Knights were even minus 185. But Canes stuck through it, and Brendan Moore got the boys ready, and he fucking raised that cup as a coach now. So
That's
love to
that's
see it.
crazy.
They're gonna fucking bury him there.
Yeah,
That man is now officially like a true legend. He's already was a legend, but this is just completes it. And love to see it. Love the Canes. We've kind of adopted them. With now, the parents got a house in
yeah, hell yeah.
Carolina, so we've adopted them a little bit.
That's a great fan base.
Yeah,
They really
they were,
are.
dude. It was
And they've
so
been good fans for a while too.
yeah,
They weren't always like most talented, but they've had because it's kind of one of those. Uh, I put it as one of the bigger think about it, even like Norfolk, Virginia Beach. Like it's got to be one of the biggest markets with only it didn't have like a franchise, and it's not like they're probably huge hockey people 30 years ago, but like all right, cool. If this is the team we get, like
this
we'll
is
go
our
all
team.
in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. No, it is awesome.
Man, the jerseys are sick. It's a great venue.
Yeah.
And another little nugget. Max and I's Uncle Jeff, played hockey at Ohio State, played at the same time as Mr. Rod Brindamore did at Michigan State.
Yeah.
And our uncle, Max and I are big guys, right? We're pretty big guys. Uncle's maybe as wide as we are. I don't know what his playing weight was, but height wise, maybe hitting 5'8",
Yeah,
hitting 5'9". And this man fought Rod Brindamore in college, got his ass beat. And he told us that reluctantly. But yeah, don't fuck with Rod Brindamore. So
he's still jacked to shit, dude.
yep. Yeah, he's still jacked as shit. I remember watching him play for the Canes back in the day.
Yeah.
So happy to see them win it. Be
Yep.
great for Carolina. Not don't know if I'm going to the lake this weekend, but I'm sure there'll be some celebrations down at the lake. And I'm sure we'll see plenty of flags flying
Oh
uh
yeah.
over the next couple
Yeah.
weeks. Great there. Gotta give my I mean, dude, I did pick the Knicks at plus one
You did.
going in. I thought it was a little crazy. I thought it'd be closer. But to your point on to your guys' point on the NHL Cup, it did end in 6 games. It didn't go to seven, but every single game was entertaining, and obviously we can say the same about the Knicks.
Dude, those were
I don't know that I can
unreal.
do more than 5 games. If I'm a New York fan or even a Spurs fan, I don't know that I can do more than 5 games after all that. Like, just the amount of comebacks, um, just watching that game 5 and just watching them slowly claw their way back. Brunson
Mhm.
just decides to go 100% from anywhere in the fourth quarter, and so watching that was just insane. One of the few guys who's at no New York Knick has ever put up 45 points in an
Yeah.
NBA Finals game, which you do the math, it's not like we're talking about an abundance of sample size. But the guys that have played from the New York Knicks in an NBA Finals, Walt Frazier, Willis Reed, Patrick Ewing, uh, more guys to name, but those are kind of just the main top guys that come to mind. So obviously a really good company to be in. Brunson absolutely turned on. OG Anunoby with the tip in game 3 that we already kind of mentioned, but another big game in game 4 and 5 as well. So I mean,
Yeah, they're saying Brunson's officially now the best Nick of all time.
I was gonna maybe ask that. I didn't want to open it up to too much because I feel like I could go off. But it's really hard to argue. And you know where it all stems from? Is it stems from him taking $100 million pay cut, essentially, and lowering his supermax availability so that they could keep Bridges in Hart. And it wasn't really a Towns thing, it was more his boys with Bridges and Hart and being able to make sure that he can pay them what they need or the Knicks can pay them what they need. And so
Right.
we've heard about guys taking pay cuts, but
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone in any professional sport at that level has taken $100 million of a pay cut. Yeah, they're still gonna make good money. Yeah, they get health benefits and all that fucking bullshit. Fuck off. Would you take $100 million off your salary over the next 5 years so that you and your boys could win a title? There's not a lot of people that would say yes, to be honest.
I was
Um,
still making like 50.
Yeah, right. It's all relative
yeah,
here. I think his lifestyle will be still be taken care of.
Yeah.
right, right. But in terms of
No,
making that
absolutely. You're right.
work, it's insane.
Not a lot. Well,
Hey, you
you're
can't
right.
put a price on having the next 2 months with his boys like he's gonna have.
Hey, you can't put a
Brotherhood,
price on
family.
friendship, baby. Can't put a price on friendship. Get your boys hooked up. I
Can't put
love
a
it.
price on friendship.
He looked insane. Obviously a huge 45-point game in that last game. I think he had 36 in game 4. 30 or yeah, I think it was I mean, guy was clearly the MVP. There was some OG consideration there, but when you look at it, anytime they needed a bucket, Jalen Brunson was a bucket. I can speak from NBA 2K experience. Anytime I get Jalen Brunson on my squad, I'm ISOing, and that guy's a dog. But really, really awesome to see the city of New York. I'm not gonna completely disregard maybe some of the egg throwing and some of the debauchery that went on in New
They've
York.
gone a little too far. That's
Yeah,
some.
little too far, but you get carried away. You win a title, yeah. The term act like you've been there, they haven't been there. And most of the people that were doing that shit haven't been around for more than 25, 30 years. So they don't know what it's like.
Yeah.
So yeah, overall, really good on the Knicks. I'm super pumped they won. I'm excited to see how Wemby bounces back and how the next couple weeks of like off season, Giannis is up for trade. I'm not gonna get down too far in, but there's a lot of things that could make some shake up in the NBA And as the NBA does, they tend to be the dramatics for the off season. We usually have NFL and some of the other sports are not as dramatic in the off season, but NBA tends to do that. So we'll get into it later. But hats off to the Knicks for winning. Hats off to the Canes. I am bummed that those series are done, but we've got U.S. Open this weekend and we've got World Cup still ongoing. So um,
Oh yeah.
as the summer goes, soccer and golf keep us moving. And then golf will keep us moving once World Cup's done. So I did talk a lot on Knicks and Spurs. Anything that either of you guys want to hit on, or maybe something that I missed on that series? Otherwise, let's hit Shinnecock Hills, baby.
Yeah, no, just great shit. Wish it was Knicks in six. It would have rhymed and my bet would have hit. But other than that,
Yeah, I just say um yeah, from someone that like hey, I don't like Sam, you love like your NBA, like you're watching all this, I'm gonna be much more of a casual. The game four, like I will remember for a long, I will probably never forget it. In fact, like it was one of the more insane just sporting events that I've watched in quite some time. So quite a thrill we got from this finals.
Were you in New York during Game Four? Is
I
that
was in
what?
New York during game two, and
Oh, Game
not to
Two.
kind of get um,
No, no,
make the story too out, but like it was generally, long story short, was already going up there with some college buddies, and we were going to like a concert, and it was one of those things, kind of like they do at Lollapalooza. I think there's Governor's Ball was the festival going on, but some bands will play a late night show, like a 10 p.m. show. So we were going to one of those. So we were just gonna find place to bars to go to, and people were already like at the bars by like 5 p.m. getting ready for that like 8 tip and just walking around the town. I mean, the buzz, like it was palpable. It was hard to comprehend.
let's
that's
go.
awesome.
And Sean, don't know if you got to check into last episode, but for Sean and anyone else who's listening, we got we got plenty of minutes from Mr. Sep Javahari on the New York Impact. The man, he said, I don't want to talk forever, but boom, it talked forever. But it was so good to get his take. He was out in the streets during game three and four.
Nice.
Um, got to talk to him after game three, get his thoughts. So just crazy. It's so great to hear the New York perspective from
Yeah.
multiple
I mean,
people.
I think just like sports in general, right? They're not the only, like we've, like other towns will do this too. Obviously, it was good for them in basketball, but just when everyone can get behind, a team, whether you watch every single night or you just want to be in the hype that's going on, you're a boyfriend, a girlfriend, whatever the case is. And like, it's cool. Everyone's in it.
And last thing I'll say is that out of all the New York teams to go win a title, I would say from a neutral slash non-biased perspective, out of all the teams in New York slash New Jersey, I'll include New Jersey as well. I'll even include Philly just because I don't fuck with them. But between Philly, New York, and New
Mm.
Jersey, the one team, like the team I want to see most win out of all of those professional sports teams, it's the Knicks. Like I don't
Yeah.
care for any like Yankees, Mets, Giants, Jets, all that shit. Hockey, I'm not obviously a big hockey guy, but like in terms of New York, New Jersey, Philly sports, like the New York Knicks is the one team I can be like, okay, I can root for it. It's just it's like rooting for these big college football programs like a Texas, Notre Dame, Bama. It's not the same, but it's the best way I can like compare it. It's like sports are that NBA is better when the Knicks are good. And
Yep.
college football better when Notre Dame, Miami, Bama, Texas, those teams that have for the
I was a
most
little biased
not.
with Notre Dame.
Yeah, oh, definitely biased with Notre Dame, but it's the concept of just the whole world having fans there. So really pumped to see that. Taylor was so funny. She fell asleep. Um Basically we were watching it downstairs. She had to go upstairs to go to bed. I got coerced into going to bed and watching it on my phone. And I was like, I'm not gonna not watch this. And
Yeah.
she's like, what? They're gonna lose. And so she falls asleep. I'm still watching the game, and at some point, I'm doing, the silent screams. You're like,
Yeah. Yeah.
like really making noise. I'm like cheering and shit. And eventually, I go, oh fuck. And she goes, no way. She like wakes up and is like, the Knicks win. And I was like, they did. And she goes, no fucking way. And I, yeah. And I was like, go back to bed. But yeah, I was just like, yeah, go back to bed. And it's just like one of those things where like everyone counted them out. She did that in, like two of the five NBA games of the finals. And she was like, I'm going to bed. You need to go to bed. This game's over. And I'm like, no, I'm
Mm.
staying up. And I'm sitting there with my phone. Uh,
Yeah.
so yeah, great series from that. I did the same with hockey, to be fair. But obviously I'm a big NBA guy, so was happy to see that. I'm just bummed both those seasons are over, but
Yeah, man.
we've
Both
got NF
shout
we've
out
got
NBA and NHL with awesome seasons.
Oh yeah, NBA draft next week, so we'll talk a little bit about that next week, Max. But let's move on to New York, Shinnecock Hills, U.S. Open. I don't know what number this is. It's number 126.
I was gonna
Because
say
Sean
126 because yours probably 125.
Hmm.
Exactly. So Max has the Shinnecock Hills. Sean's got the shirt. I've got the hat. I'm wearing the polo into work on Thursday, and I cannot wait to watch these extremely fucking talented golfers just piss down their leg at this
Sam,
course.
they're not that far from you now. What are you, like a two handicap?
Oh, absolutely not. Don't ask me. I shot a 96 at Cascades. So granted, driver was completely off, but
All right.
besides
Hmm.
yeah. Hey, I can go one under one time through nine in my life, and that might have been last weekend or 2 weekends ago. But I don't know if I'm gonna be able to replicate that. So we got to
Yeah.
on that front nine action, dude. If I can just go like six over instead of 11 over, who knows what my record would be. Three times 81. Three times at 81 in the last 18 months, and I cannot break 80. But that's beside the point. Maybe we'll start a Sam breaks 80 trend. And I don't know. But just one thing I have to mention for the group, Scotty Scheffler, you guys both know it, but Scotty Scheffler going for his Grand Slam, career Grand Slam, which is insane to think about because he wrapped up the British Open, PGA Championship last year, and then obviously he's won his Masters. So he's looking to do it in quite a tight time frame. Don't know if that's a record. It's probably not based on Tiger, but it probably is going to be second. So that's one big one. And then the other thing I want to call out, and then Sean, I'm going to kick it to you to just fill in any holes, which I'm leaving a lot of them open for you. But the other thing is just the weather,
Yeah.
and looks to be really windy this week. I think that's going to be a common theme all week. We do see some potential thunderstorms tomorrow or Thursday morning to afternoon, so something to keep in mind. But Max and I like to bet, we don't love our we're working on our course topography and things like that. But for a more polished dimple head, Mr. Sean, give us just give us kind of your